Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is Arden Studios and welcome back to another YouTube video. And in today's YouTube video, guys, I am going to be going over some tips and tricks on how to get Heaven Ascended Dio in All-Star Tower Defense. He is currently the latest and debatably the hardest 6-star to get in the game. His recipe is going to require 5 5-star Dios, 5 3-star Jonathan Joestars, 4 normal vampires, 4 vampire 2s, 3 vampire 3s, and 2 vampire 4s. That is definitely a hard recipe for a 5-star, especially because 5-star Dio is currently unobtainable in the banner to my knowledge, but I am going to be giving you guys some tips and tricks on how to get this unit as a whole, because there are certain things players might not be aware of when it comes to getting Heaven Ascended Dio, and he is a very useful unit to have. So before we get into it, please consider leaving a like or subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let's go ahead and begin. Okay guys, so the first things first that you guys are going to need to know about getting Dio is that I believe his 5-star is unobtainable. At the time of me recording this video, it has not reappeared on the banner since its removal, and as you guys can see, his 5-star is still tradable right over here, so I believe it is still unobtainable, but his 4-star is not. Now, what does this mean? It means that you can spin for Dio's 4-star when it is in the banner, and you can evolve his 4-stars to get the 5-stars, meaning you are not limited to using trading as a method of getting the 5-5-star Dios you need. So if we go over here right now, I do not have Heaven Ascended Dio yet. Of course, I'm still working on it. But if you see that you're going to need 5 5-star Dios. Now, the recipe to actually get one 5-star Dio is 2 4-star Dios. Let me just make sure. Yep, 2 4-star Dios, 3 vampire 1s, 2 vampire 2s, and 2 vampire 3s. Now, what this translates to is if you're going to get all your Dios through evolution, you will need 8 4-star Dios, 15 vampire 1s, 10 vampire 2s, and 10 vampire 3s, which is a hefty amount of vampires to get, but honestly, to get all 5 of the Dios, that is not horrible, especially when you consider the methods you have for getting vampires. Now guys, of course you can still get Dio through trading, though personally I would not 100% recommend it, especially if you're big on trading and have a huge trading inventory, because you're probably going to lose some value in your inventory. Currently, if you're going to use your Dios just to evolve them, that means you're going to lose all of the trading value whenever you do the evolution, and right now, because Dio is such a highly wanted unit, especially for his ultimate time stop, trading away Dios really is going to be a pain. Or trading for Dio, just because of the fact that you're probably going to have to overpay. And yeah, Dio, if he didn't have a 6-star evolution, is not a highly valued trade unit. So I don't know exactly what you're going to get for it. You're probably going to have to trade away some units you don't want. So unless you're not too big on trading, I don't really recommend trading too much for Dios, maybe for 1 or 2. But if you plan on trading for all 4 of them, then you're either going to have to get a really lucky trade, or you're going to have to overpay. You're probably going to have to trade multiple dungeon units. So yeah, that's going to be kind of painful, and I don't exactly recommend trading, though obviously it's still an option, apparently, or especially if you don't care about what you're trading. Now, in terms of the Dio evolution recipe and getting the 5-star Dios, that's pretty much all I can tell you. Trade if you want, though I don't fully recommend it. And also, I highly recommend you get the 4-star, and just do a lot of extreme vampire hideout in order to get the evolutions, and then just evolve the 4-stars to get the 5-stars. But next up on the list is the next requirement, which is 5 3-star John Joes. There isn't much to say here, guys. If you see John Joe as a 3-star in one of the banners, make sure you guys go ahead and spin for him. He's not going to be too hard to get 5 of them. If you're lucky, it might even take 1 10 spin, but it'll probably take you 2, maybe upwards of 3 10 spins to get 5 John Joes. It's really not that hard to get Jonathan Joestar, so I would say just, make sure you have maybe 20 to 30 spins, and if you want, maybe even wait until there's a good 5-star and 3-star in the banner. That way, not only are you risking gems on getting Jonathan Joestar, but you might also get a 5-star you really want. Now, the final part of the DIO recipe, which, if you really think about it, is probably the hardest part, especially if you're evolving for 5-star DIO, is going to go ahead and be the vampire requirements. So, obviously, the vampire requirements to get Heaven Ascended DIO aren't horrible, like 4 vampire 1s, 4 vampire 2s, 3 vampire 3s, 2 vampire 4s. None of that is horrible, but definitely can be a pain. So, first of all, guys, make sure you're using the codes to get gold. They really do give a lot of gold nowadays, and make sure that whenever you see vampires in the gold shop, you are spinning. Now, if you're really lucky, some units like vampire, upwards of vampire 3 and 4 will be the 35%, and then you should definitely go ahead, maybe even pop a 10 spin, because you're gonna get a lot from that. I notice that many people disregard the percentages in the gold shop, but really take them into account. Just because you see a vampire might not mean it's the right time to spin. For example, if your vampire 4 that you really want to spin for is the 15%, maybe you should wait till it's the 25 or 35%. 15% is a lot lower than 35%. It is, I believe, yeah, about less than half of 35%. So you do have a much higher chance of getting the 35% from the gold shop rather than the 15%. Keep that in mind when gold spinning, and don't waste too much gold on getting normal, like, lower level vampire units that you have a higher chance of getting from the story mode. But I would definitely wait, try to get the higher level vampire units first, and then go ahead and spin for the lower ones. Of course, unless you want to do some evolution with that. Now, you are probably going to have to do a few vampire hideouts. There's no way you're going to get all of these vampires, especially if you're 4-star evolving through just playing, like, or just getting gold, unless, of course, you have lots of gold. But Vampire Hideout Extreme is probably going to be really useful for you guys when you're trying to get Heaven Ascended DIO. I know that one's pretty obvious, but I mean, I definitely do. Just take the time, do some Vampire Hideout Extremes. Now, I do know that some players might not be at the point where they can do Vampire Hideout Extreme yet, which is completely understandable. If you're trying to get DIO, I would assume you can beat Vampire Hideout Extreme, but of course I understand if you can't, and I would say that it's not horrible. If I had to guess, as long as you're doing Vampire Hideout on the first level on Extreme mode, you probably could even solo the entire thing with just Geno, so you don't even need Fire Rage Orb. Obviously don't quote me on that, but I do think that Vampire Hideout Extreme is not horrible. Make sure, guys, you get a good 5-star for that. Kaneki's probably going to be a good one. Yeah, Kaneki's probably going to be a good one, guys. Genos is probably going to be a good one. Todoroki, those kinds of units. You can probably even do it with, like, a Golden Frieza with his orb, if I'm being completely honest. So, the units you need to do Vampire Hideout Extreme nowadays, they aren't horrible to get, especially if you just want to spin for them in the banner. But, yeah, guys, make sure you keep that all in mind. And that is pretty much everything you can possibly do to get 6-star DIO. Now, of course, the gem price for some of these things is going to be a little hefty, and if you're not, if you don't have that many gems, I do think they did increase the damage task, but if you guys don't have that many gems, maybe go ahead, try to get, like, 6-star light or something, and do some damage grinding, because gems are obviously going to be really important for any 6-star, and especially with ones like DIO, it is going to be much more helpful and useful to you if you guys go ahead and make sure you're stocked up on gems. This 6-star is probably worth it to get. It has tons of damage, and it has ultimate time stop. But yeah, that is going to be it for today's video, guys. It was kind of a basic one, but I just hope maybe 1 or 2 tips in here did help you guys out, and I hope you guys had a wonderful day. I will see you all later, and peace.